Hey guys, this is JP's LEGO Reviews, and today, in this third installment of How to Invest in LEGO, the series that is, what theme should you invest in? So, to answer this question, we must firstly break it down. Now, we have two types of LEGO themes that you need to know about: unlicensed themes and licensed themes. Now, basically, unlicensed themes are original in-house LEGO themes. Meanwhile, with licensed themes, they come from a license such as Star Wars or Marvel, so LEGO have had to pay contracts to companies so that they're able to sell products with a franchise's name, basically. So, those are two important differences that you need to know. But it's not exactly like this, but again, let's break it down. Now, with the first theme that you should actually invest in, which is Creator 3-in-1 sets, there's only one type of Creator 3-in-1 set that you should invest in: nostalgic sets. Now, what I mean by nostalgic sets are sets like the Vikings, the medieval sets, and the pirate sets. Now, what do these three sets on the screen have in common? Well, they actually came from old LEGO themes. Now, there used to be LEGO themes like LEGO Castle, LEGO Vikings, and LEGO Pirates. But now these sorts of general sort of themes that LEGO have had are being remade into the Creator theme. So, if you wanted to get, say, a pirate ship, but you didn't know where to get it today since there isn't a pirate theme, you'll more likely than not find it in Creator. And because of this, these sets actually make for good investments. The reason why is this. Now, for a LEGO pirate ship, LEGO may not release one for another 7 to 8 years. And because of this, you actually have plenty of time to make an investment work. Let's say it's been out for 2 years. You purchase the set one sort of month before retirement. It retires. In 2 years, it doubles its value. Then you sell the set for double its value 4 years since the set has been made. But the exact same version or very similar version of the set will be remade in 4 years' time, but you are able to invest in it. So this is why for Creator 3-in-1 sets and nostalgic sets are actually a good investment. Now, for ideas/icons. Now, there are a few different ideas and icon sets that you should invest in as well. Firstly, get sets that people would like after retirement. Now, that's all that you have to do with these two themes, but it's not as simple as that. You may have to focus on beloved sort of franchises that appear once in LEGO Ideas, such as this Sonic set, which definitely could do well after it retires, or maybe the Ghostbusters set, or Transformers, stuff like that. The second type of LEGO set that you should consider that people would like after retirement is cars. Now, we have the Back to the Future set here, which kind of mixes in with nostalgic themes, but sets like the Ford Mustang, the James Bond DB5, the London Bus, and a lot more sets like it are also very liked after retirement because they're unique, you're not going to see them again, and they're very displayable. And these sort of sets make for great investments. But that's not it. Also, nostalgic leaning sets again, not just the Creator 3-in-1, but even for direct-to-consumer sets too, happen to do well after retirement, because these sorts of sets, like the Lion's Night Castle in front of you, for example, they are well built, they're well designed, but they're sets that people would like to get in the future, maybe 5 to 10 years down the future, but because it's only been out for 3 years, people may want to get it 10 years after, say, it's retired. But those sorts of sets can make for some great investments too, simply because they are unique, yet it leans on people's nostalgia. Now, another set category that's also good in this sort of double sub-theme here is modulars. Now, modulars are a collection of buildings that LEGO produce that make a streetscape. And because it's a collectible building series, each one will never be the exact same as another one that LEGO will release. And because of that, all modulars are unique. And because of that, each modular has some sort of value because it's never going to be remade exactly the same again by LEGO, since they're going to make a different building. Or say it's even the same type of building, it won't look exactly the way, say, this boutique hotel looks like. They'll make it look different, and that's what makes modulars so good to invest in. They're unique, and LEGO will truly never repeat a modular. Finally, another good type of set that people would like to invest in is the fairground stuff. Now, I also could have included landmarks, but that's more architecture stuff. But with fairground stuff, such as this loop coaster as an example, people also collect the fairground theme. For example, I have the roller coaster and the Ferris wheel because they're fun sets, but let's say if I want to get the fairground mixer as well, that set's been retired for now, I believe, 9 years. So, a LEGO investor 9 years ago would have bought it, it's maybe doubled or tripled in value, and then they can resell it simply because it actually helps someone complete the collection. And these are all set categories that people would like to own after they retire. With LEGO Technic, there's one sort of LEGO set that usually does well: licensed cars. Now, these can include anything from the Porsche 911 RSR large play set to the massive LEGO Cyan, Lamborghini Sian, which is a displayable LEGO Technic car, to the smaller but still good looking Bugatti Bolide playset. Now, all these licensed cars happen to do well because LEGO Technic can't truly repeat them again, and they're very interesting builds. But apart from this, LEGO Technic isn't really the best theme to invest in, and the licensed cars sort of LEGO Technic sets have only done really well because of the introduction of the Porsche 911 GT3 RS set, which is like the Sian but an orange Porsche. And because of this, LEGO Technic is now decent to invest in with their licensed cars. With Speed Champions, I would only recommend getting the single car sets like the McLaren Elva or the Ferrari 812. And the reason why I would recommend these two this sort of sub-theme of Speed Champions is this. With the twin car packs, someone may want one car but not the other, and because they don't really want the other, they wouldn't want to buy it. But let's say someone only wants the Ferrari 812, for example, on the screen. Now, because there's only one car, the Ferrari 812, the person who wants it, say 5 years after retirement, will buy it simply because it only includes one car. And usually, these Speed Champion sets absolutely massively increase in value simply because people want them. With LEGO architecture sets, you have the Great Pyramid of Giza and the Taj Mahal. Now, there's really not too much advice with LEGO architecture in general, since pretty much all the theme is good to invest in, because it's highly unlikely that LEGO will actually ever repeat a LEGO architecture same set for a long time in the exact same way that they have before. And that makes LEGO architecture close to a foolproof theme. Finally, with LEGO Ninjago UCS sets / modulars, these sets happen to do well too because they are collectible. Now, with the Temple of Daijutsu, Ninjago City, and the Ninjago City Gardens, with the two modular sets, these ones happen to sell well on the secondary market because of the fact that they are collectible. But what about the Temple of Daijutsu? Well, it's such a good display set that it's shot up in value too, simply because people want to get it because it's a good quality LEGO set, and it's different and it's unique. So, this is pretty much it for all LEGO unlicensed themes. And for the rest of it, just avoid it. And the sets to avoid are all the themes that you saw above that have been shown, but not the sets that I've talked about, and including these themes such as LEGO Brickheads, LEGO City, LEGO Brick Sketches, LEGO Art, LEGO Friends, and LEGO Classic. These are all okay themes, maybe to buy, but I wouldn't recommend any themes that I have here or more that I haven't discussed as being good sets to buy to avoid, simply because you just won't make a good return on your money. But now, let's go through the licensed themes. Now, with licensed themes, you have quite a few, but which one should you focus on? For reoccurring themes that I suggest that you should invest in, these include Lego Lord of the Rings, Minecraft, Jurassic World, Stranger Things, Harry Potter, and Indiana Jones. The reason why is this: they are popular franchises or movies or games that people get. It's popular media that people consume. These themes only come about once in a while, and there's actually previous evidence that, with the exception of Stranger Things, that these sets will do well in the secondary market. The Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, and Indiana Jones have done stupidly well after they've retired close to 15 years ago now. And now they've been sort of reintroduced again simply because a new generation of people want these themes. When it comes to Jurassic World, after the sets retired in 2015, they did really well as well, which continues on to today. With Minecraft, it's actually always been around for quite a bit, but it's not really a theme that too many people think about. And that's a little bit of a mistake, because it's actually a very good theme to invest in as well. Lots of Lego Minecraft sets happen to do very well once they retire. And with Stranger Things, I have a feeling it's going to head in the same direction, simply because it's a very popular show, and the only set that they've actually released, which is the Upside Down House, is a direct-to-consumer set, and it's a really good-looking direct-to-consumer set as a Lego set. And now, let's move on to Marvel. Now, this is a bit of a weird theme because it's very dependent on the specific movie or show that has Lego sets attached to it. Now, when it comes to Lego Marvel, you should absolutely get anything that's Infinity Saga. Basically, the classics. Maybe it's the Avengers, maybe it's the Endgame / Infinity War combo, maybe it's Age of Ultron. It's the old school Marvel. Those are always going to be well received. It's people's favourite Marvel content that's ever been released. And unlike today's Marvel, where there's lots of hits and misses, they just hit and hit again for all the Infinity Saga movies. The second thing that you should actually pay attention to with Marvel sets are well-received recent media. With movies such as No Way Home, I would absolutely focus on sets from movies such as No Way Home, where the movie did extremely well, because people have positive thoughts on No Way Home, and because of that, in 5 to 10 years' time, people will still be thinking about No Way Home and wanting a Lego set from No Way Home, which could mean that if you say invested in a No Way Home set, it could get more and more popular since it's a beloved movie. Meanwhile, with Lego Marvel Eternals, it was a horrible movie, and no one really liked it that much. And if you did like it, you're probably in the minority, because it wasn't well received. And in 5 to 10 years, I expect the Eternal set to do quite badly, simply because not many people actually liked the Eternals. Now, the other thing that you have to consider with Marvel sets are well-received large sets. Now, with well-received large sets such as the Daily Bugle, they are great to display, and it looks super impressive, like it's a skyscraper. And this set has been well-received because it's such a good-looking Lego set, but not all Lego sets have been this well-received. And because of this, you need to focus on the large UCS or large sets that Marvel have released that have positive reviews. Like the Black Panther bust is a set I would avoid because no one really likes it. Meanwhile, lots of people like the Daily Bugle. And not many people may be thinking about this as an investment opportunity, but they just like it as a set, which means that in 5 years' time, people will still like it as a set. Now, when it comes to DC, it's pretty similar. Firstly, direct-to-consumer sets in DC always happen to do well. There's the 1989 Batwing on screen, then there's the 1989 Batmobile. Going back a few years, there's the Batcave from 2016, that's done well. There's the Tumbler from 2014, that's done well. The Arkham Asylum, that's done well. Like all large direct-to-consumer DC sets happen to do well. Also, non-Batman related DC sets happen to do well too, because everything in DC practically these days is Batman, Batman, and more Batman. But if you see something unique without Batman, like Aquaman or Superman for example, I'd highly recommend you jump on it, simply because they will have unique minifigures and they will not be Batman centric, which is actually a really essential way of making sure that you do well in LEGO DC, LEGO investing. And finally, you should also focus on well-received recent media. Now, recent media like The Flash hasn't really had its movie come out, so we don't know. But an example of, well, it's not really recent, but an example of a very well-received movie was the first Aquaman movie. And if you have anything that's Aquaman related, it will do well, because people will like to see the second version of Aquaman, and also it will remain a movie that people want to watch for years to come. Which means, let's say a 2018 set you bought for Aquaman retired in 2020, you sell it in 2022, because people still want to watch or experience Aquaman in LEGO form. Obviously, the set's going to increase in price since it's no longer being produced, and suddenly you have a really good investment. Now, with LEGO Star Wars, there are also some things you have to consider too. Firstly, all displayable sets, with not much exception, happen to do well. Anything from this Yoda diorama, to the massive UCS Millennium Falcon, to the sort of medium-sized UCS Slave 1. It all does incredibly well. Also, when it comes to LEGO Star Wars, you have to choose sub-themes in LEGO Star Wars to focus on. And you have to focus on the films or the content that is well received. That includes original trilogy, Clone Wars, and The Mandalorian. Basically, anything with positive press will usually do really well for LEGO. Meanwhile, anything with maybe questionable sort of press, like the Solo movie, or especially the sequels, I would actually avoid, because if there's questionable media, also people may not like these sets, those movies that much, which means that, let's say you buy a Clone Wars set or a sequel set, the Clone Wars set will do better after retirement, simply because there's more demand for Clone Wars than the sequels. And avoid the rest of the licensed themes. Now, this includes anything from LEGO Overwatch to Super Mario, Minions, Avatar, and Disney. Basically, any of the themes that I've not talked about in the previous few minutes that I've discussed, free licensed themes that you should make sure you get. Avoid the rest, because honestly, it's just not worth the risk, considering that most of these sets are more aimed for children, and or they have really just weird LEGO sets, like for example Super Mario. And yeah, that it is it. Now, thanks for watching. Now let me know what you think about this, and what themes would you or do you invest in with LEGO? If you enjoyed the video, please smash the like button. If you want to see more content just like this, please subscribe. I hope you guys have a prosperous day and keep building and investing.